What's up, everybody? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, and today I'm going to show a little bit of the progress that I've been making, putting my books up on shelves, and how my brain works when it comes to utilizing my space, and then of course a little bit of BTS. Now, not the boy band, behind the scenes of how my studio is set up. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do is just kind of give you an idea of where I'm heading. All this stuff over here, we did have to move around. This is all stuff that's separated by video games and physical media, anime, and of course, action figures, toys, whatever it is. Because of course, I also happen to be a collector of that stuff. There's still some comic books here. There's posters right there. Some that my daughters want, so couldn't be prouder of them. Then the other thing I had to do was put all the existing bookshelves, here, let me see if I can get around this way, on this side of the room. Even though that's definitely not where they're going to stay, it's just the ones that we had around the house. So I will be using a lot of those. A lot of those are Billy's. But in the end, I do want to replace them. So let me take you first to an area that you're probably used to seeing on the show, and that's this area right here. So a little behind the scenes here, there are two microphones. This one here is when I use the 4K Panasonic camera, when I do overviews of books, sometimes when I'm shooting in front of the camera. I don't have the Nikon with me, but that is the stand that I use for the Nikon. I was using it for my cell phone the other day. This is the microphone that I use for the live shows, and the computer, the all-in-one that I use for the live shows, is down there, along with it's a Mevo, not sure if you can see it. Yeah, it's a Mevo camera. Down here, I found my books of the February haul of collected editions. So you will be seeing that video sometime here in the next day or so. I do have two lights instead of just having one main light and one reflector. And then I have two little mini lights behind me to kind of put the most balanced lighting on the books when I'm doing overviews, because I think that's the most important thing. Sorry, I'm shooting the table. Nobody wants to see that. That's one of the most important things when it comes to overviews of books, is showing the true colors. That's when people can see discoloration and things like that. I've always wanted a horror shelf, like books, some of my favorite books, or just books that are called horror comics. So that's what I made here beside my main shelves there. And for those of you wondering why The Walking Dead is there, it's still horror, despite of how, I feel about it. My wife's binder of comics and cards. But this is where we sit. So this is kind of our view right here. Oh, the other important thing I forgot to mention. Sorry, I'm just kind of winging it here. I have windows down here. I really didn't have that many windows in my old basement. So I have two windows and these big doors here. I did buy these blackout curtains. I'm going to try those, and if I have to, some blinds, because as you all know, the enemy of collectors is always sunlight. Not just us, but our stuff that we own. Whether it's comics, whether it's toys, whether it's video games, that sunlight, it will take no time at all for that to damage any of these books, make them discolored. So let me give you a little bit of what it looks like back here so far. When I give the tour, of course, I'm going to be moving the lights, but there's some of my Prince Valiant books, Ian Hugh Lee right there. Some of the bigger books are up here, or just some of my favorite books are up here. Some of my favorite collected editions, including Blueberry right there, Marshall Blueberry. Sin City. Not sure if I'm actually going to keep going with that set to spell out Sin City. Who knows. Here's where all my X-Men, because they are top shelf, of course. However, I cannot find the box so far. I'll show you where the boxes are for the first few X-Men books. And you've seen my tour of 2022. I will say 2023 is going to look a lot different. Eventually I'll be replacing that. This is a placeholder for other X books. I do have, like I like to mention, gaps in between my books, just because holding out hope that perhaps Marvel one day will give us some of those fill in the hole collections. And I do have like some of the upcoming books behind me. People have said that they really enjoy looking at that, such as like the new most recent Jason Aaron's Thor right there. And I don't know why I had Avengers down there. It's not like it's getting reprinted or anything. I just had it. And then, of course, my Udon books down there, Street Fighter, Transformers, which is some of the greatest comics that hardly anybody talks about. And then Conan and Avengers. I did find the Conan box. Up here is where I'm going to put up some of my favorite Absolute editions. I think Melanie's reviewing Daredevil here in a little bit. Some of my favorite big deluxe editions will go there. Batman shelf right here, including a custom Batgirl found on eBay many moons ago. It cost an arm and a leg. The Colossal Conan. Those are some of my favorites. If you watch my top 10 from like 3 years ago, that made it in the top 10. And I'm so glad Marvel decided to reprint it, but, you know, that's still big. Like, this is the size of an omnibus, right? Like a Marvel and DC omnibus, and it's so much bigger. Dark Horse. There's the Power Rangers. And my daughter's Archie Mega Man custom collections. And then the Rick Remender shelf. And then down there. Here's the thing. Like, I'm making room for Berserk, but I can't find my Berserk hardcover. So that definitely, I'm going to be shifting some things around. So just keep an eye out in the back here. That is the spot for the Duck comics, though, by Don the Man Rosa. So here so far is how I have my Marvel shelves. So my Marvel shelves are right next to the studio right there. And it's so nice to have so much room. I'm not just bumping into things when I'm recording these videos. The lighting, I'm going with, sorry, I'm going to blind you just a little bit. I'm doing 75 watts of lighting, LED, but you know, they're the LED lights, so they're only about, I think, 8 watts each. I need it down here for the books to light up a little bit without damaging them. So I did a lot of freaking research, and those LED lights, as long as they're up there, not shining straight up on the books, do the least amount of damage. Nothing like daylight. Hey, my wife said I need to put that in the frame, and I agree. So this is the X shelf. I actually made an X shelf of just trade paperbacks of just X-Men. So over there I have the chronological order of books in oversized hardcover, including Omnis. Over here is what the rest of the books in chronological order look like when they're in trade paperback. Over here is a work in progress. All of this is a work in progress. It might look different when I do my complete 2023 tour. This is the image titles right here, starting with hardcovers. Soft covers will be at the bottom. Dark Horse and IDW will be over here. Over here are, here, let's go this way. This is where the DC Deluxe editions are going to be. I'm separating them by superheroes to, like, Vertigo and independent titles down there, but still under the DC label. These are K-Laxes, and these are Billies, for those that are wondering. And back here are the Marvel oversized hardcovers. So again, work in progress. Over here, I haven't decided exactly what this shelf is going to be yet. I was thinking about maybe humanoids or something, but the lighting here is kind of poor, just because this is where the vents are, right? So I don't know exactly, and the shelves themselves are already dark, so I'm thinking about going with those kind of color K-Lax for the next 3, because I do want to get 3 or 4. I'll show you what the plan is here in a little bit. So let's keep going over here. Again, these are just shelves we had around our house. Some of them will make the transition to this new basement. Some of them will be given away. So over here's where we start the Batman. So this is the DC trade paperbacks. A lot of missing volumes because I'll show you here in a little bit. These are custom bound JLA books, not missing a single issue. I know we have, you know, the JLA by Grant Morrison. We have JLA oversized hardcover here by Mark Waid, but my buddy Kyle got me those, and they are very special. They are awesome. They are complete. So just because I am making room for those missing volumes, I'm keeping books like these out. And yes, this is all from my head. I don't have a list in front of me. It's just, this is how I make my reading orders. Speaking of reading orders, I found the box of Superman, so I'll be back to doing that soon. This is a lot of work And I'm not saying, hey, you know, pity party for Omar, but this is what I have been doing, spending my time. I'm not sure what this shelf is going to be because I see some IDW stuff there, Fantagraphics there, Boom here, and IDW Trades there. See, like, this is some of my favorite books, so they might make the trip over there. There's some Love and Rockets, which I just saw the box set, and then some manga. So the manga is going to be probably on white shelves, be using some of these black shelves, some Billies, and then probably moving the manga over to the white shelves, as well as the K-Laxes, because I have a lot of box sets for the manga. I have a lot of art books, too, that I want to put up, and kind of just make it on this side of the basement. Let's see, up here, books I'm currently reading, some books, actually over here's the giveaway pile, like whenever we have contests, books that I'm working on videos right here, so you'll be seeing these, and then probably a week or so, books I really want to get to reading, books on my reading list right there. And for those of you wondering, this is all one take, I don't know where this is going, what I'm doing with all the boxes I'm opening up, well, my buddy has a recycling business, so I'm going to give it to him. Or first thing I'm going to do is actually put it on the Facebook Marketplace to let people know, hey, here's some free moving boxes, used once. Come and pick them up and put them out on the curb. So this is kind of an idea of a little bit of an idea of what the boxes that I'm opening up look like. Over there, I think one of these is, that one right there is the Superman box, one of them. And there's just, yeah, I think I showed when we were looking here, like, this is DC Omni's Teen Titans basement. That's not the problem. The problem, let's go in this room. So this is the room that I want to get finished to make into the TV video game room. The problem is that, God bless the people that moved us, they were wonderful, but they don't know where I want these books, and at the time I didn't know where I wanted them. You know, if I had to move it all myself, I probably would have put all the Omnis on this side, all the oversized hardcovers, trade paperbacks, and things like that. It's having to dig for these things. So it's having to go through here, and, hey, what is up with, okay, that box is stuffed animals, I think that's why these are all stuffed, so that's good. It's having to find the actual books, and some of them aren't labeled well, like manga. And I'm not complaining, you know, my family was wonderful, my friends were great enough to help me, but what I'm looking for, like, see, like, you have DC Omni, but what I really need is, like, trade paperbacks, or what is this here? I can't even read that. Custom Omnis, Batman, Flash, Green Arrow. Okay, that's actually one that I think I need. So let's see what's in here. So after opening the box up and taking out the cardboard and all the plastic bubble wrap, those I'll probably use for giveaways and things. It looks like this is Green Arrow trade paperbacks with Batman in there and Flash. So I'm gonna take these to the DC shelf and put them up so you can be bored with me and watch me do that. So I gave myself a little workspace over here with this old shelf that's holding it and keeping it together to work right beside my DC trades. And this is where I wanted to put the 3 to 4 K-Laxes to make it kind of like a library, what you saw in my old house. So either this way or this way. I think this way would fit 4. But yeah, that's still, I'm trying to wrap my brain around that, how exactly I'm going to do that. Because I do want the manga to be on that side of the room, while the comics, even though that's what they're called in Japan, are on this side of the room. But let's get these out and put some on the shelf. What was in there was the modern Batman run, so there, that fills in that gap, right next to Batgirl. Need some Omnis of that. There's the Birds of Prey, all the way to Event Leviathan and Firestorm, which means let's kick this shelf off with The Flash, the fastest man alive. Well, the Wally West era. One Barry Allen right there. Until we get this shelf looking like a normal shelf. There we go. Now this place feels a little more complete, but we'll get there. Work in progress. So I hope I was able to give you a little behind the scenes look as to my little studio back there, and how I'm currently working on the shelves. If you have any suggestions or any ideas as to like how to best utilize space, of course you don't know the square footage of this place, so anyway, though, I'll take some suggestions. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Seriously, this has been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but I'm not gonna lie, it's been a blast. I'm down here by myself a lot of the time. And the other thing I forgot to mention is that we also have a house to put together, so I don't get to spend as much time as I want down here, but it is coming together and it's starting to look like the place that I've always wanted. So thank you all so much for watching. Seriously, you all are a big part of this, so thank you all, and thank all of you that asked about these doing a video like this. Everyone stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.